420 MSP, Sleepy Harry here, and I'll tell you why. It's fall. I'm looking at the return of the it's called Fogtober here in Seattle, Josh. And I got my light on over here to give me the sun that I need, yada yada yada. So bear with me, Josh. We're back with Josh Weiss out of Southern California. First of all, how you doing? You said you took a little vacation time recently. You went up to Northern California. You saw some of the burns and whatnot.
I did. I did. I was actually supposed to go visit one of my buddies with a big grow up in Mendocino, and I ended up moving that part of the trip because of all the smoke. So it's definitely a scary time for the marijuana industry and the wine industry for sure here in California. But
yeah,
it's nice to get a vacation. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think everyone wants to get out. And folks, click over to the channel and you'll see that very conversation about smoke and cannabis and wine with Luis Alvarez, one of our analysts. But today, I want to step up our conversations a level and talk about digital transformation in the cannabis vertical. So you had a couple of examples you'd like to share. I think you wanted to start with iPad payments. Go.
Yeah, well, first, I want to take a quick second to say what even is digital transformation, because I don't know that it's a term that many people are used to in the cannabis space. But, all we mean by digital transformation is how you use technology and workflow and various things like that in your business to get competitive advantage, to sort of to move ahead faster, to get things done faster, to be more profitable, whatever it is. And so my goal has been to take this concept, which can be pretty heady at times, and make it tactically understandable, hence the slide that we're looking at right now. And so iPad payments, obviously anyone who's gone to a store or a restaurant in the last 5 or 6 years, or, a lot of dispensaries has seen this happening. But, what I'm really interested about is two parts in particular. One of them, the fact that since people are already using iPads to take payments in various forms, since this pandemic has started, I've noticed that we can, we've now abstracted the entire notion of doing a transaction. Generally we stood in front of a person, we handed them a credit card and they did something with it, or we handed them cash. Now that we have iPad payments, you see all these wild things, like you stand on one side of the room and the clerk stands on the other side of the room to keep them safe from COVID. And we're still able to do our transactions. And I think it's such a basic thing, but for time eternal, we were very used to the way that the transaction of buying something worked. And I've been really amazed that because we had already started transforming by paying digitally, we've now been able to move the entire physical transaction to move people apart. The second part that's very relevant to digital transformation, and something that I do see a lot in the cannabis space, is that because people started to make digital payments, you can now integrate the payment process, way into the business through integrations in the point of sale system. And so by looking at just that touch point of digital payments, we're able to change the physical structure of payments. And we're also able to do all kind of integrations where once that digital payment happens, you can tie into building a customer profile on the back end and the point of sale. You can create all kind of touch points and data. And I think it's just really incredible what's been opened up by digital payments, and very relevant to the cannabis space.
No, that's pretty cool. Let's talk outsourced marketing execution. And the reason why, Josh, is with my involvement in the cannabis vertical. Literally just yesterday, I was talking to a digital agency, and he went out of Pennsylvania, and he wants to break into the cannabis vertical, but he understands, that it's, well, A, it's hard to break in, and then B, the marketing, there's some restrictions on the type of advertising you can do and so on. Not that we have to get into the weeds on that, but with the outsourced marketing execution, what's going on?
Well, let's make this incredibly simple. The example I like to use when I have this particular slide in front of me is that when I make my PowerPoint decks, I actually work with a designer in Egypt. I met this designer on Upwork, and where I like to kind of bring into the conversation for digital transformation is that so many people I know, and like let's say that you have a client who's got a cannabis business or something like that, they'll get their executive assistant, or they'll get maybe one of their bud tenders or something to, hey, can you guys also take care of all the graphics that we need for advertising, and can you guys help manage our social media campaigns, et cetera. And what I've seen is that by leveraging a platform like Upwork or like Fiverr, or bringing in an agency, if you have more budget to spend, you can get a lot of really complex tasks done that, your that the person that you've got checking clients in, or your bud tender, is probably not so expert at. So just go to Upwork and look for exactly what you're trying to get done, whether it's PowerPoint design, or whether it's sort of, packaging design, or whether you're trying to create a flyer for your business. Just go out there and leverage these platforms. They're essentially free to use. And by leveraging international talent, you can save a lot on your budget and really transform the way that you get work done, including marketing, which I use all the time.
Well, it really shows. And again, this would be for any business, but the context here is the cannabis vertical. But the old saying, within reason, you get what you pay for. And by that, I mean, the professionalism just really shows. I get a weekly Friday email from a local dispensary that it's coming out of Constant Contact, and it's a template, and it's not Josh, it's not that good. I mean, it looks like something I could do. And versus a real thoughtful custom email, you can just tell somebody put some time in on this. It just shows.
And I'll tell you what, when I was making my own PowerPoint decks, they didn't look like this either.
Yeah, exactly. Well, sir, glad that you got a few days away. Well deserved. We'll talk to you next month post-election. I'm sure there'll be plenty on the table to talk about. Keep it safe. Thank you for sticking with us, Josh.
Yeah, always good to be here. Good to see you, Harry.